I raced across the hospital as fast as I could. I should have been heading home, but I'd just been called about an emergency admission. I entered the private room and I gasped at what I saw. In all my years treating burns, I'd never seen anything that came close to this. The man in the bed had burns covering the entirety of his body. His skin was charred black. Blood and pus wept from the cracks in his destroyed flesh. What made the situation even worse was that he had to be physically restrained by two of the biggest male nurses I knew. "Let me fucking go!" he screamed. "I can't stand it here. He'll come back for me." Jesus. Had this been the result of a premeditated attack? "Doctor," the first nurse greeted me. "He keeps giving us false details, possibly due to the trauma. He seems to think he's dead." "Date of birth, June 12th, 1972. Date of death, January 6th, 2014. The patient bellowed. "Now let me go! He's coming!" I had heard people say some crazy things when they'd been on pain relief, but this guy sent shivers down my spine. Something was really wrong. I took a few more steps towards him, scanning the burns he'd suffered as I did. The whole thing had started to feel like a weird out-of-body experience. "What are you?" I heard myself asked. He stopped screaming and fighting against the nurses. He slowly turned to me, stared straight into my eyes, and calmly spoke. "My name is David John Cooper. I'm the first person to escape from hell." Our research team first found the creatures we grew to call Nesrins off the northwestern coast of the United States, just below Alaska. They were top predators in the ocean. They had no natural predators, and we had never even seen one before. Hell, I could pull that we know more about the moon than the ocean shit that everyone else does, but this really proved it. We had a predatory fish, just a bit longer than a blue whale, living right under our noses. Once we began really looking, using the bait they liked, sperm whales, we found them in every ocean on the planet. We even found a few in the barren cold waters around both the Arctic Circle and near the coast of Antarctica. The world was shocked when we discovered that they could generate electric pulses like an electric eel. That's how they caught their prey. Stun them, then attack. Perfect plan, perfect predator. A new king at the top of the food chain. We even noted that they would ignore humans, perhaps out of fear. What early civilizations would have called sea monsters, we were calling gentle giants. This was groundbreaking. Until we found a half-eaten corpse of one wash up on a beach in Washington State. Everyone knew Cassie. She was a friendly child. Sure. But I think the neighborhood knew her because she knew us. She was the reason our block felt like a family. The girl's got second sight, Alita Johnson would proclaim from her window perch. I've never believed in such a thing, but I'll admit, Cassie had a gift. To her, Alita Johnson was Miss Grandma, while the girl who drove the ice cream truck was Miss Dog Doctor. Our mailman was Mr. Painter. She played hopscotch and jump rope with kids that she dubbed singer, teacher, and fireman. I asked her about all the nicknames once, and from what I could understand, they came from how she saw people, as potential. She didn't exactly see our future, she just saw us at our ideal. Everybody glows, Mr. Writer, she told me. Everybody's good. I'd never told anyone I wanted to write. It was a secret dream. Not one I'd let myself take seriously, yet somehow she saw it in me. That's how she saw all of us. And one afternoon, I was cooling off on my front stoop when she skipped down the sidewalk with a stranger at her side. She had obviously enchanted him, just like everyone else. We smiled and waved, and as they passed by, I asked, "Who's your friend, Cassie?" She paused, tilted her head in confusion before exclaiming, "Oh, you're being writery, Mr. Writer. I should have paid more attention as she laughed and twirled off down the street, followed by the stranger. I should have realized. Cassie always saw the good in people. Cassie could only see the good in people. But not everyone is good. You know, when I was a kid, I would race up to the top of the stairs as fast as I could, like it was some sort of silly game. Well, I must have been 5 or 6 at the time. I'm not sure, but I know I was very little. Somewhere along the way, a voice at the top of the stairs started to whisper to me. He would make bets with me, such as, "I bet you a penny you can't make it to the top of the stairs." I didn't really think there was a certain amount of time or anything. As I said, I was very little, so I probably didn't have any counting abilities anyway. I recall just sitting at the top of the stairs, having conversations with this voice about betting, of course. Eventually the voice, it was like a whisper, a man's voice, not my own. I started to bet my life. Instead of pennies, it'd say, "I bet you your life you can't make it up the stairs." As I got older, it stopped. I never really thought about it again. I never mentioned it to anyone. Until one night, I was sleeping over at my brother's place, and we were talking about spooky stories. And out of nowhere, I brought up the voice at the top of the stairs. And my brother got all quiet. Before I even mentioned anything, he says, "Did it make bets with you?" They both just looked at each other, horrified.